Hello, I'm Dr. Joe of the drjoe.com. Right, I've got something to share with you today. It's my lovely banana cookies. I got a very nice recipe for banana cookies and I want to share it with you. So let's head to my kitchen after the intro and I'll show you how to make them. See you shortly.
If you want 2020 ideas to better health, you've come to the right channel. Hosted by the warm and lovely Dr. Joe. Now, for today's topic, please welcome on stage Dr. Joe.
So welcome back. What are we doing today? Well, we're going to be preparing banana cookies. My lovely banana cookies. I love them and I'm sure you're going to love them too. So what do we need to prepare these banana cookies? Well, it's very simple. These are the ingredients we need and I'm just going to list them out for you now. So we got bananas. Of course, it's banana cookies, so we need bananas. We need vanilla extract there. We also need peanut butter. Okay, peanut butter. This is the brand I use. Is no added sugar. So these are the wet ingredients. On the dry side, we've got oats. Okay, we've got oats here. We also got rye flour. This is a pack. Rye flour. Okay, rye flour. We got that, and then we got peanuts, okay, and we've got baking powder, and then we also got cinnamon powder, okay, and then last but not the least is oil spray, just to line the aluminum foil before we bake them. So this is all we need. These are all the ingredients we need to make the banana cookies. And the recipe is very simple and I'm just going to demonstrate it right now. Right, so let's start cooking. So we start off with the banana. The bananas, we're just going to peel them. We'll peel the bananas into the wet bowl, as it were. It's not actually wet, but you know, if you get what I mean. Peel more bananas. We'll probably might pause the video. Bananas go into the wet bowl, and then we need 2 tablespoonfuls of vanilla extract. Okay. As vanilla extract, you can see that. You just need about 2.5 tablespoonful of the vanilla extract. That goes in there. And then the next set of ingredients to go in is going to be the peanut butter. Okay, the peanut butter goes in next. How much of this you need? You just need about 3 to 4 scoops of the peanut butter. That goes in there. This peanut butter is really thickly set, so it can be a little bit difficult to scoop. But you just need about 3 scoops, you know. That goes in there. I'm putting 4 for good measure. Can break the rules sometimes, you know. I know I told you 3, but I got 4 in there. But that's okay, it doesn't matter. So we got 7 bananas in there. We got 3 to 4 scoops of peanut butter in there, and we got 2.5 spoons of vanilla extract in there. So the next thing we're gonna do is mash up the wet ingredients together. Okay, you just mash it up using a masher. What I'm not sure of is whether a food mixer will work for this, but I do it manually. And it's nice for you to spend some energy before you actually have the cookies. You know, you enjoy them more when you do that. Manual labor, nothing wrong with manual labor, okay? But of course, if you've got, I don't think processor work. Well, maybe processor can work for this. I'm not so sure. I've not used any food processor for this, but I suppose you can if you want. But I'm doing it manually. Yes, so we are back. That's the banana paste is all there. So we got that already. So next is the dry ingredients. Okay, the dry ingredients. So what we got here, 2.5 cups of oats. Okay, 2.5 cups of oats. Oats goes into the dry bowl. And then, like I told you before, this is rye flour. Okay, rye flour. You've got 1.5 cups of the rye flour that goes in there, and then peanuts. Okay, you can use any other nuts you like. You know, I'm using peanuts for this. If you like, you can use almonds. If you like, you can use cashew nuts, pine nuts. It's up to you. But I'm using peanuts in this instance here. So how many? I got about 4 handfuls of peanuts there. Okay, that goes in there. And then the next thing we need is baking powder. Okay, baking powder. There you go. So this is baking powder. This is baking powder. We just need about 2.5 spoonful of the baking powder. Okay, that's 1. That's 2, and then another half of the baking powder goes in there. Okay, so baking powder goes in there. And then what else we need is the cinnamon. This is ground cinnamon powder. Ground cinnamon. We need about 4 spoonful of the cinnamon. Okay, that goes into the dry bowl as well. So that's 1. What the cinnamon does is, why I like to add cinnamon is because the cinnamon actually steadies the release of glucose from the banana cookies, so you don't have any blood sugar spike. That's the third one. You don't have any blood sugar spike from the cookies. Okay, so cinnamon, because cinnamon actually does that. It does sort of reduce the speed of release of glucose from carbohydrates. So that's it. I think everything is all in there in the dry bowl. So you know, the dry ingredients are usually very easy to mix together. So this is it. You just mix them together, very easy, and that's it. You know, it's all mixed thoroughly. So make sure we mix it thoroughly, and then the next step is to add the wet ingredients to the dry ingredients. So how do we do that? We just put it dry into the wet bowl. It's a little bit powdery, so you might get a bit of flakes in there. And then you mix the two together. You see? Very easy. Mix them together. This is where I think, I do it manually, but it's up to you. You can also use a food mixer. Maybe a food mixer might work for this, but I do it manually. Here is the final paste of the banana cookies. This is what we're going to be baking. So the next thing is to just mold them and put them into the baking tray. So one of the things I do is I just use the oil spray to line the foil to prevent the banana cookies from sticking onto the aluminum foil when they're ready. So I just do that. Same thing for the other one. I've already lined this one earlier on. Yeah, that's fine. So next thing is it's up to you how you do this. I also do this manually, and I tend to use my hands. Actually, I just wet my hand, and I mold them with my hand. Another thing you can do is you can actually use a mold, a metallic mold, and just put the cookies onto the metallic mold. So that's what I do. Right, so here we are. These are the cookies to go, basically. As you can tell, I haven't gone crazy with any creativity. I've kept the mold very simple. So the next thing we're going to do is shove them in the oven. Simple as that. So here they go into the oven. That one goes in there. So we keep them in the oven for about 15 minutes. Temperature of about 180 to 200 degrees. It's up to you. 180, 20 minutes, 200, 15 minutes. But always check on them because you don't want them too dry. You want them to be a little bit moist. I like them a bit moist. If they're too dry, then you want the bananas to actually retain their moisture. That's the way I prefer them. So it's nice to always check up on them to make sure they're not getting too dry. So I usually say 15 minutes, but it could be less. It depends on what kind of texture you want from the cookies. Okay, so we'll be back in 15 minutes time. Right, so here we are. The cookies are here. They're ready to be eaten. Okay. In actual fact, they were in the oven for 13 minutes. So like I said, it's always a good idea for you to check on them to make sure they don't get too dry. Because you want them a little bit moist, and that's why I like them. So you can eat them with anything you like. They're cookies. You can have them with just a cup of tea, like you got here. Have them with a cup of coffee. You can have them with cream. You can have them with cheese. You can anything you want to have them with. You can have them with your soup. All sorts of applications. Oh, and by the way, they actually store for a good number of days in the house. So I always make them in the house, and you just put them in some storage container, and you just go ahead and start munching on them, over the course of the week. So yeah, this is it. So taste factor. Let's taste this now. Okay, we'll prepare this. What does it taste like? Okay. This is awesome. Really cool because it's been able to retain that moisture, and I love that. You got the cinnamon flavor just bursting through as well. You got the peanuts. It's all good. It's all good. And then you have that with a cup of tea. So, as you saw there, it's a very easy recipe to make. You just mix the wet and dry ingredients together, shove the cookies in the oven, and they're ready in about 15 minutes. Simple as that. And it's also very healthy. You've got healthy carbs, complex carbs, you've got protein, you've got healthy fats, which you need from the nuts and the nut butter there. Furthermore, the cookies are very tasty. The bananas give it a very nice sweet taste, which is not overpowering, and that's how I like them. But it's up to you. If you want them sweeter, you can always add honey to them. In terms of eating them, you don't have to eat them with anything. You can just eat them as they are. They're cookies. You can have them with a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, and they complement tea and coffee very well. And that's how I actually eat them. And, they're very good snacks to have in the house, and they actually store well in the fridge or just on the shelf. They do store for a good number of days. So, that's it. If you like this video, please show your likeness by liking it, comment on it, and share it. Share the love. Share it with your friends and family. That's about it for this video. Oh, please don't forget to subscribe. Okay, subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Until then, this is Dr. Joe signing out.